but are mostly dinosaurs who hate any and all change. Alright, so, we have Esper Aristocrats here, which is very similar to Black-White Aristocrats that we played a couple of times in the past, with applying one very important basic principle. Every deck in Standard gets better when you splash Teferi Time Raveler into it. So again, this card's just super busted. It's a little bit of interaction, it's a little bit of tempo, it's a little bit of disruption for people trying to interact with you. We also got some Thief of Sanities in here since we're splashing in some blue anyways, so... At any rate, let's go ahead and dive right into some matches and see how this goes. Black-White Aristocrats ultimately felt kinda okay in the format, but we ultimately ended up playing the more aggressive Black-Red builds. I'm interested to see how a blue splash works here. Good morning, dude bastard. Thanks for the biddies. The pre-release date for the core set 2020 is July 6th, which I believe means it will come to Magic Arena sometime between the 3rd and the 5th, if I recall correctly, if history repeats itself. MTG Arena will test the functionality of the London Mulligan in a special event starting on June 7th and fully adopt it for all formats with the release of July 2nd. Awesome. Sweet. July 2nd. I can mark my calendar. We work in overtime starting on July 2nd. Yeah, both core sets are legal at the same time for a few months in Magic. That is exactly correct. Playing digital Magic is super convenient while watching tiny children, because tiny children don't do a whole lot right when they're born. When M20 comes out, will I do any sealed events? I will not. There are a lot of very talented magicians that stream a lot on Twitch that play a bunch of limited. I am not one of them. I would recommend Ben Stark, MTG Nerd Girl, Kenji, Numat the Nummy, Caleb Durward. These are all wonderful Magic streamers who do some limited. The focus of this stream is always constructed. Yikes. It's been a while since we've been mono-blued. We might die. I think we are heading in the direction of dead. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of newer arena streamers that do good limited too. A lot of the streamers I just listed in my limited recommendations are like older Magic streamers that have been around for a while. Nerd Girl's newer, I suppose, but I'm familiar with her from Tempo Storm. I'm not really familiar with limited streamers because I don't really seek them out, because the reason I don't stream limited is because I don't enjoy playing it. And I play Magic for fun. So I think I'm just bringing in all my removal. The removal in the sideboard of this deck really does not line up well into what our opponent is doing. It's all kind of expensive, and like, I don't really have anything. I have one card that kills Tempest Shin, Were there limited formats that I enjoy? Yeah, I've played limited off and on over the years. The big thing that gets me about... Oh, Drew, did I miss it? When did that happen? Have a good one, Drew. Thanks for keeping me around. Egg Rollin, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate it. To complete my thought, the big thing that gets me about limited, and I say this, and I feel like because Magic players are Magic players, I have to put this asterisk in front of it, that I know limited is extremely skill testing and has lots of places for you to win as the better player. But from an emotional perspective, I find it just completely rancid losing games of Magic because my opponent opened better Magic cards than me. That's not something that I enjoy experiencing. So rather than complain about it, I just don't play limited. So unexpected. Thank you for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. What does the Aristocrats do? That's a very good question. I actually forgot to do. Usually I do an explanation of that when we start playing this archetype. Do we actually? That's good. Do we have a command? I feel like we should have a command. All right, so hey, losing to better Magic cards. Welcome to the free-to-play experience. My life story. I think I'm actually gonna play Midnight Reaper here and attack them for 1. Yeah, if we drew a 1 or a 2 drop there, we would have just dumpstered them, right? We'd have been like, activate Priest, make you sack your only thing. Yeah, I think it's a lot more complicated than that, Heartbeat. I don't think it's anywhere near as simple as you just stop playing because they have this card. There's a lot to consider. I like to draw a couple of cards. And like, if they use Siren Storm Tamer to counter my Priest ability, I get 4 shots at drawing Moment of Craving here to kill their thing. Oh, I actually wouldn't because I don't have the mana, right? Yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. We didn't hit it anyways, but you're right. We don't have the mana, even if we did. I don't understand why someone would not like the London Mulligan rule. Because people are inherently terrified of change. Maintaining the status quo is easy. When you change something, there's a possibility that you might be changing it for the worse. So rather than risking changing for the better, people prefer to maintain the status quo. Moment of Craving is a great draw here. So if they activate this, I can kill this now. And when they don't activate it, I get to go. Thief of Sanity, Thief of Sanity. Good luck, Godspeed. It was a pretty good start for us. They fumbled a little bit and we were able to capitalize. Shouldn't you have cast Craving first on Tamer, or is that worse versus Dive Down? Nah, I just wanted, if I play that and they dive down there, they just end up in a spot where they still have their thing in play and I don't have two Thieves out. So like, when they choose to just hold up the mana to dive down there, I'd rather just double Thief to like, get more pressure into play and use my mana efficiently and not let them use the one mana they're holding up. About to sneak up on 3 years. It's been a while, chat. I hope life is treating you well. Thanks for the biddies, Conqueror. We are very excited here about the London Mulligan. Hoaglandia is a very progressive nation. We like changes that are better for society as a whole, like the London Mulligan. So, like, Priest is easily my best card in this matchup, but Sorin's a little awkward against Spell Pierce. I think I'm supposed to keep this. Mean Puff, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Yeah, I agree. That's a great way to look at it. This hand without the Sorins is a keep. Yikes! D-E-D, dead! D-E-D, dead! D-E-D, dead! Our removal is not well situated for this matchup, but we're just, yeah, it's just... Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia! Yeah, opponent was very good at drawing their obsessions. Plat 4 rank floor. I forgot what the loving embrace of the Plat 4 rank floor feels like. I agree, Trey. Much like the people who think Splinter Twin and Stoneforge Mystic are bad for Modern, they probably don't play that much or haven't played very competitively. It does. It feels like coming home after a long time away. It just feels right. I'm pretty confident I finished in the top 1,000 last month. We won't know until WotC feeds the hamsters and they churn through the data and send me an email. Blue to noob. Thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Watsy said they would unban Twin if I could get a timeout. That is 100% why Modern is popular. Modern is popular because a lot of people don't like rotating formats and Legacy's really expensive. And we're gonna spend, so this season, we're probably gonna play almost every submission on the ladder just because, my rank is irrelevant since I already hit top 1,000. Hey, Spider Monkey! Thank you for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Tradesies? Tradesies? Alright. Hits 2 and 3 from Paige. Yeah, the qualifier's only every 2 months. That's nonsense BS, Paradise Sal. That's like saying we need to ban Noble Hire because it goes in most screen decks. And also, there aren't, it's like the same logic we used to say, so here's some logic that Wizards of the Coast applied. We said we banned Splinter Twin because it reduced deck diversity among blue-red decks. How many different blue-red decks are there? Yeah, I agree, ad nauseum. Batterskull is not that good in Modern. People again, just don't have, like, they must be, the only reasonable conclusion I can come to is that people must be playing a different Modern format than me. Because, like, when they talk about these cards being too strong, it's just like, what format are you playing that, like, Batterskull is busted in? Because I really want to play, guess what? Storm and Phoenix are still decks if Splinter Twin exists. Storm was a deck when Splinter Twin was legal. Those decks wouldn't play Splinter Twin. There weren't a bunch of fair mid-range and control decks that popped up when they banned Splinter Twin. Rigel beat me there. What am I cutting here? I definitely want Dovin's Veto because they're a deck full of big planeswalkers and command the Dread Horde. I wonder if I'm supposed to cut these at my top end, because I feel like I probably can't grind them out, huh? Maybe it's just Sorin Vengeful Bloodlord? Yeah, and I think it's important to point out that, like, the Splinter Twin ban didn't do what it was intending to do, which was diversify the fair mid-range and control blue-red decks that you can play in the format. Yeah, exactly, Pokemon nerd. It was funny. I was back, and this discussion is such a good example of why using Twitter is such a crap hole, crapshoot, especially. Twitter's a crapshoot for most things, but it's definitely a crapshoot for Magic discussions too. Someone tried to tell me that Splinter Twin was too good because there weren't good answers in every color, and I brought up the card Spellskite. And they were like, oh, I didn't know Spellskite was a Magic card. So I was like, oh, okay. So, like, you didn't know Spellskite exists, so you're just arguing that Splinter Twin is too good when you've literally never played with or against the deck. Got it? That's just like any type of Twitter in a nutshell, right? People with strong opinions who are, like, ill-informed and don't really know what's going on. Just, like, adamant that they are correct. Like, she's no experience, and you're very certain that you're right. Got it?
your talents are worth cataloging.
Researcher, it does.
The past is never forgotten.
It's much easier to read headlines and react.
Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, Twitter tends to be worse than some of the other parts of the internet, though, because the way Twitter structures itself, you literally can't have solid, meaningful argument discussions on it a lot of the time because it limits your characters the way it does. So, like, I agree that kind of nonsense happens in a lot of places, but it happens more often on Twitter by the nature of how Twitter creates the post, allowed for the posts that you're allowed to have there, basically. Some of you never played through Eldrazi Winter and it shows. Yep, ain't that the truth? Alright, so I'm gonna attack with this Hunted Witness. Because if they want this to survive, I then get to draw a card from this dying with the Midnight Reaper. Yeah, I agree. The way, how easy it is to share stuff on Twitter also contributes. Why not play Cruel first? You could also drain for one, because I'm talking and clicking at the same time. You are correct that I should play this first. I guess I could draw Oketra. It's not strictly correct to play the Celebrant first. I could draw Oketra. It's like if I draw Oketra, I probably want to play it there. So at first glance, I was just lazy. But if I stop and think about it, the possibility of drawing Oketra there, I think means that it's right to not play it pre-combat. It depends on what that game mode is, Rexbox. Because, like, if it's being tested in a format that I don't want to play, I'm not going to play a format I don't want to play. I've survived without the London Mulligan for a decade. Another month isn't going to hurt me. What if it's postmodern? I genuinely hope that Wizards of the Coast decides to release the new format before rotation in the fall. I really hope they pull the trigger on that. No, we don't have any info on it. This attack is super aggressive. Because, like, now I get to Teferi bounce this and then Priest kill their Wild Growth Walker. Yeah, they didn't respect the Priest either, which seems like a pretty big mistake on their part.
I've got it.
Tamio's dead.
Compromised.
Tamio's dead. Tamio ain't stopping nothing. Ooh, that was a good draw. Oh, you know what? I think this is actually a pretty big mistake on my part. I should have bounced the Wild Growth Walker and killed this, because putting the second Walker in the bin is much worse against Command the Dreadhorde. Maybe I'm supposed to hold up Veto here. The only way I lose here is Command the Dreadhorde, right? So maybe holding up Veto is correct. Alright, they don't have it, so this game is over. Let's just tuck that right on in there. This'll probably be a concession veto. Yeah, my opponent definitely severely undervalued how good Priest was gonna be. Which is something that happens with some frequency when you're playing cards that people aren't used to playing against. Duress into Dreadhorde would maybe get us here. I don't know, my hand is like really good. Even if they Duress into Dreadhorde, we might be able to fight through him. Yeah, right, I have to wait for them to figure things out. I'm like, click on a bunch of stuff. Stop it. Yeah, I mean, like, that game was just a pretty good example of, like, we had two must-answer threats in play, and they just couldn't answer either of them, right? How we doing, folks? Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody over in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. Hope everyone out there's having a fantastic start to their week. If you're new, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you enjoy constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here every day, and all those deck names you see in the stream title are upcoming decks that we're going to be playing later today. We always stay very organized around here. I'd just like to take a quick second to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick who pay the bills. Chewy would love to help you get thousands of different pet supplies that you know and love shipped automatically to your house every single month, week, or however often you need a refill on your stuff. And if you use my link, bit.ly/HoogleChewy, you can save 30% on your first auto ship order there with them. Of course, I almost forgot, thanks to all my wonderful subs out there. Heidi, checking in for the 4th month, and forget Freeman with 4 months as well. Thanks for keeping me around, folks. Thanks for keeping me here. InkGaming.com. I love Jeff to customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they already have on their website, such as my own Hoaglandia branded merchandise. And of course, the Vitamin String Quartet creates unique instrumental string arrangements, everything from Zelda to Zeppelin. They would love to underscore your next gaming session. You can find them streaming now on platforms such as Spotify and Apple Music. I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia as well. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you choosing to spend part of your Monday here with us. We are heading on into our next match here with this Esper Aristocrats deck, seeing how some blue cards feel splashed into the black-white shell that we've played previously. Gotta reward the speech with some. I appreciate it, Freeman. Twitch Prime pays my mortgage, so thanks for keeping me around. This hand's missing a color, but like this is probably keepable. Guildgate, eh? So are they a Gates deck, or are they a blue-white deck with extra duels? Ziggs coming in hot with the brand new Prime support. Hope your Monday is finding you swell. Thanks for keeping me around. I really like this avatar. Are the gates ablaze? Never not ablaze. This matchup is probably really bad for us. Our deck isn't particularly aggressive, and the Gates deck tends to go way over the top of anything these mid-range decks are capable of. And our deck isn't playing cards like Narset that really punish the Gates deck. It's a big goat. And it only grows larger. That's a weird attack. is like have some more trample creatures. In general, I think I prefer... Well, that explains the aggressive attack the previous turn. That explains the aggressive attack the previous turn. Yikes, we got destroyed. That was pretty impressive. They played Sylvan Awakening to make all their lands into 2/2s, and they played some white card that I don't even know the name of because I've never seen it before that untapped all their creatures and gave them 1/1. Does anybody know what that card is called that they cast? Rallying Roar. They cast a Rallying Roar. Okay. Like I said, I don't know that we really have great tools here. I have like Duresses and Vetos, but my opponent also has a lot of creatures in their deck. Yeah, sorry, standard staple Rallying Roar. I'm new. I don't stream a lot of Magic, so I'm not familiar with all the format staples like Rallying Roar. Ah, the loving embrace of the Plat 4 rank floor. Anyone got an auto chess equivalent for Rally? I need comparisons for the game that we know. Oh, Magic. I prefer the aggressively slanted black-red version. Rhyme Cody. I'm not sure. I feel like this more mid-range Aristocrats deck is kind of just a worse mid-range deck than the other mid-range options in the format. So if I'm playing something like this, I'd rather have the aggressive slant on average, I think. This deck's very similar to the black-white build we've played in the past. Alright, the fact that they Ugin down ticked means that we might have a chance since Teferi lets us do this. Teferi's a good dude. Hell, Wiget. Thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Huh. Neither of my things updated there. Weird. I wonder if Streamlabs is having an issue. It's like I said, I talked about, like, I'm not certain if this is better than, like, the other mid-range things you can do in the format. Like, how do I ever keep up with this Nissa, right? I guess Oketra, maybe, can let me do that, but even then, I'm in a pretty medium spot, right? That can buy back Midnight Reaper next turn, I suppose. I think so, full on. And obviously, like, again, like, people always just want the shortcut answers. Jeff, tell me what the right answer is. I don't know what the right answer is, chat. I think, from a theory perspective, black-red having the aggressive slant is probably the optimal way to build Aristocrat. Do I know that with certainty? Absolutely not. Like, I'm just a guy playing a bunch of Magic here. A lot of it's just theory crafting. In Magic, there's not a way to skip doing the legwork and gaining experience with what you're doing. The shortcut answers that a lot of people are looking for just don't exist. There's too much going on. Okay. We said Oketra was maybe a way to get back into this. I think Death Touch does not apply to planeswalkers. I think I'm actually gonna do this and get back Midnight Reaper this turn, because this way, because like my opponent is probably playing a mass manipulation deck, so it doesn't give them a chance to steal this. And if I trade some of these things off in combat, I can likely draw a 1 or 2 mana creature and play Oketra and trigger it in the same turn, which seems appealing.
Behold, nature's true power.
Remember when I said mid-ranging in matchups like this generally isn't a great idea? This is a good example of why.
Every story is an opportunity.
Pretty clean example of why this black-white shell felt like it just couldn't really compete in the mid-range space with the other decks in the format.
I follow the tracks of the wise.
Yeah, the blue-green decks crowd out the mid-range space pretty hard. But, they're pretty susceptible to decks that can, like, get under them, which is an okay place to be for the format overall, I think.
Do not harm my scrolls.
Destroy.
I jammed 4 Baby Teferi into Vanityr Pod Modern. It's been a good addition. 8 1-drops, and it's a great turn 2 card. I can see that. It's definitely more powerful on turn 2 than otherwise, right? We're just super dead here, right? I'm gonna go ahead and concede this match. I don't really feel like there's anything meaningful for me to learn here, and I can have a reasonable takeaway here, which is that this deck just feels kind of clunky and slow. Similar takeaway to Black-White Aristocrats. We eventually put that down for Black-Red, which is that you don't really pressure people enough, and you fall into this, like, awkward, like, I'm kind of a mid... It's not even an aggro deck, really, which is part of the issue. Like, if this was an aggro deck, it would probably be more reasonable. This is very much a mid-range deck, and that's part of the problem. Like, it's a mid-range deck that doesn't have the card advantage to keep up with the good mid-range decks in the format.